So in 2017, 2022, I was exiled after having been tortured, abducted, and everything else happening. And now you have to think, the system was already institutionalized by the British. It was strong. There was a president, Uhuru Kenyatta, trying to hand over power to a senile Raila Odinga, whom he think he will control through remote control. So basically, Uhuru was going to rule through Raila, just like Moi wanted to put Uhuru Kenyatta in 2022 so that he could rule through Uhuru. So now you have to think, how do we remove the president so that Kenyans know that they can always remove a president, that a sitting president cannot impose somebody. So we decided we support Ruto so that we can defeat a sitting president trying to impose another person so that he can continue ruling indirectly. That was the purpose for putting Ruto. Now, once you put Ruto, we have put a weak candidate because we have shown that we can defeat a president. The same way we can defeat Ruto now, the same way we defeat Uhuru then. We are trying to tell Ruto, the same way we helped you remove stop Raila and Uhuru, is the same way we can remove you because power belongs to us. Ruto is weaker than Uhuru. So we can remove him directly before 2027. And how do we remove him? We remove him the same way that the Philippines removed Marcos on the street. I did not give the example of Egypt. But even if you give the example of Egypt, Egypt was a military coup. You stop a military coup by having so many people on the street that the military will side with us and will help us remove the regime and transform the system. And I've given you the formula of transformation. The institutions are not weak. They are simply emasculated. They are not functioning. And they are not functioning because the people we put in power have no integrity. If you have strong institutions, but the people presiding over them have no integrity, you create a dictatorship. Because a strong institution with a person without integrity on top, that's a dictator. Because they can always use the institution. You need a transparent, accountable institution. You don't need necessarily strength. You need accountability, transparency to the people. That's what you need. I don't know why Kenyans use the language of dictatorship. They want a strong leader. No, we don't want a strong leader. We want an accountable leader. We want a leader who listens to the people, a leader who provides services to the people, a leader who will not do things unconstitutionally, a leader who will operate within the rule of law. That's what we want. We want governance. We don't want dictatorship. So all we need is a leader with a vision, with ideology, and with integrity, or leaders like that. And they are there in Kenya. Those are the leaders that will transform the state. So if you are going to choose, because I've seen people say, oh, we want Matiang'i, and they don't remember it is the same Matiang'i that tortured me, that abducted me, that forced me into exile, that disobeyed court orders, 35 of them, that killed people and dumped in Rivayala. Like, how stupid can we be? If you say, oh, we want Babu, the guy who shot people as we watched, a DJ that had just gone to do his gig so that he could feed his family, and this is the guy that you say you want? Like, what is wrong with us? So I want us to think carefully about what it is that we want. We cannot replace a dictator with a tyrant. We cannot take Didmas Baraza, who shot somebody in broad daylight and got away with it. And now, because he comes to spend CDF on us, we say he's good. Or because they have bought the Githeri media, who are now writing fake stories and fake headlines, and currently holding, eating ugali with Ruto at State House, that those are the people that you are singing, because NIS has made posters and are circulating them on social media. We have to be clear We have to be focused. We have to be value-based. We have to be ideologically driven. A person without a philosophy of life, who has no values, cannot be a good leader, no matter what he promises. So telling me, Ruto promised this, Ruto promised this, Ruto did this, and then comparing it to now, is not to get the memo. You're not getting the point. 2, occupation, civil disobedience. We're not talking civil disobedience. We are talking revolutionary protest that removes a regime and transform a system from an old imperialist clone, neocolonial clone, to a fully liberated African country that is answerable to Africans only, that are answerable to its citizens only, that are answerable to its residents only. A system that is aware that if you play by the rules of the people, you survive. If you betray the people, you are removed, just like they have removed Ruto. This is what I think we have to understand. The entire system has to go. We have to create a fresh new system from down going up, from the foundation. And then there was a statement about infiltration. How do we stop infiltration? You cannot stop infiltration. They will try to infiltrate, and they will infiltrate. Just like now they are listening to the space. What you have to do is vigilant, be disciplined, be focused, be analytical, be impervious to being manipulated. Don't be gullible. Don't take anything from them. Don't take money from them. Because I can assure you that even a lot of the donations to the sick, the NIS is giving. To the ones who died, the NIS is giving. We are aware. We know that. They did that when I and others were fighting Moi during the one-party system. They would come, even in the student movement, even in exile. They will join your group. They will even be elected leaders in your group. Then they will be ferreting information to the regime. So we have to be aware they are there. They are actually here. They are here with us. They are publishing posters. They are attending demonstrations with us. But if we are vigilant, because the majority of the people cannot be manipulated because there are too many, and you cannot buy 10 million people, 54 million Kenyans, they will fail. That is the only thing. But to say there will be no infiltration is to be naive. There is no perfect movement. There will be no perfect revolution. Just like there is no perfect human being. We will make mistakes. But as long as we achieve the overall goal, we should count ourselves to be on the right path.
Thank you so much, Dr. Miguna.
March, I would like to just say something, a couple of things that I'm hearing from Dr. Miguna. The first thing that comes very clearly for me is that the institutions are there and they are strong. The problem is the personnel. And that is why his idea is to come and clean the entire swamp, take everybody out, because the personnel that we have, that we inherited, the thinking was from 1963. So the personnel is what we need to get rid of. The second thing I'm hearing, and I guess that's why people, including myself, were struggling to hear him, is we're used to listening to all these things within the rule of law and the constitutions and processes and hierarchy of succession. That's where we are still stuck. So Dr. Miguna's argument is very revolutionary, which is not what we are used to. He is saying, take all that out. Focus on Article 1, we the people. That we the people are the ones who donated that power. And we already decided that that power does not exist when we went out and said no to the bill, and we went out in our numbers. And if we can come out in the numbers and peacefully demonstrate peacefully through a revolution, we can get everybody out, cancel the entire system, and start over again with the National Transitional Authority. I think that's what we're all battling. I think, at least for me, and some messages I'm getting, is that we only hear all this within the context of the rule of law as it was defined for us. The third thing I want to say, there's a girl called Esperance who was in a space yesterday, and she spoke a bit earlier. And I was talking about the power of social media and how the youth and the social media has demonstrated how the game has changed when it comes to mobilizing people. Because we used to think that elections must take 2 years to organize, that it's such a big, complicated thing. I think I would like Esperance to share with us some very powerful statistics that she shared with us yesterday. I don't know whether she's still on the call.
She dropped.
Because she dropped. Okay, I'm going to look for her. But she really shared some very important statistics that we need to understand. That going now through even choosing our new leaders is not going to be about who has as much money as possible to buy media, to do events. Now it can all be done online, and especially with blockchain and technology, it's a game changer how we're going to mobilize people for elections. That was my submission.
You have said it so beautifully, and the Tuesday and Thursday mobilization was not done by money. It's not something Ruto can do. The demonstrations happening in Kisumu, Migori, Siaya, Mombasa, Garissa, Wajir, everywhere, all over the country. You can't do that from the state. Even NIS cannot do that.